welcome to another Simon Says Stamp video. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different with some baker's twine, and I'm using this doodle twine from Doodlebug. This is their Christmas assortment, but more specifically I'm using these three colors which can be purchased separately. They are Limeade, Pool, and Bubblegum. And what I've done is I've cut 40 inches of each color. And what I did was I just measured one that was 40 inches and then I used that as a guide to cut the other two. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this in half. And I'll cut that right there. And then I'm going to go in half again. This is essentially going to make 4 strands of each color that are 10 inches long. Okay, so now I'm going to separate these out into their specific colors. I'm going to line up the ends. Alright, I'm just going to take some scratch paper, whatever paper you want, and I'm going to use a really sticky adhesive. I'm using like a 3-dimensional glue dot. You can use whatever you want, but I'm just using something that has a lot of stick to it. And I'm putting those down right in there. I want to make sure all 4 strands are touching that so they're not going to pull away. I'm going to do the same with the green, and we're going to do a simple braid. And if any of you are unfamiliar with braiding, this will be a great exercise for you to practice. And then before you know it, you'll be braiding everything you can get your hands on. Alright, you could also just put these under some Scotch tape or just anything to keep them in place. In fact, I'm going to take some removable adhesive, and I don't even know if this is going to work. It might not be strong enough, but I'm just going to put some removable adhesive on it and put that down on my work surface so that I can braid a little more easily. So I'm going to try to straighten these out as much as I can, get out any of those kinks. Alright, I'm going to do a very simple braid, so I'm just taking the right over the middle and then the left over the middle. And if you just remember to always do, oh, I've got one strand that came loose. We'll pull that little guy back in. Okay. Straighten them out. You always remember you're just going outside in. So outside in, and you just switch the sides that you bring in, then your braid will be perfect. So I'm doing a really loose braid. I don't want it super tight. Okay, now I'm going through and I'm just sort of, I haven't even secured the end here, but I'm going to kind of loosen the braid a little bit. It's going to make it a little more wide, and it's going to even out any of the tighter spots. I'll just look a little more uniform. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and set this aside for a minute. I'm going to build the rest of the card, and then I'll be putting this on as a final accent. I've created a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 square inch card out of some white Nina cardstock. I've also cut a 3 by 3 inch square. And I'm going to use this and stamp this cloud background stamp. I think it's just called Clouds from Hero Arts. And I'm also using Hero Arts Shadow Ink and Soft Pull. I only need the ink on a small section of the stamp since I'm using that 3 by 3 paper. Just put that down right there. I'll just nice cloud background. That would match the blue in the doodle twine pretty well. And the shadow inks tend to be a little bit splotchy at first, but then they dry pretty smoothly. So I'm going to leave this to the side to dry while I work on the rest of the card. I have some Hero Arts Celadon, I think that's how you pronounce it, Celadon layering paper, and I'm going to use this edge punch from Fiskars. Alright, using some more white cardstock, I'm going to take this stamp set from Hero Arts. This is the Untitled Postmark stamp set. I used this a couple weeks ago doing faux embossing, or faux metal embossing. And I'm going to use this one down here that says Happy Birthday. I thought that'd be a nice, fun sentiment to go with the bright colors of this card. Alright, and I'm using a 1 3/4 inch punch, circle punch, to punch this out. It'll be just perfect size. Okay. Alright, and I'm going to assemble the card. So I'll take this right here. I'm going to first take the braided piece off that glue dot. And I'm just going to have it go down there at the bottom. It's going to go over top this little punch piece right here. So I'm going to adhere this down first. And then I'll cut off the edges that overlap. Alright, now this is going to wrap around the card, and so if you want to save some of it and use the braid on another project, you certainly can. I'm going to go ahead and put a bunch of adhesive along the back so that I can wrap it around the corner and have the adhesive there and ready. This Xyron adhesive is very strong. That's going to hold that down enough. I only need it to hold it down long enough so I can get it on the card. So I'm going to take some dimensional adhesive. Alright, I'm just going to put that in the center of the card. Lovely. And then I'm going to put this one over here on the side to finish off the card. I'm going to put that on dimensional adhesive as well. Then I'm taking a brown marker and just going around the outside edge with some dash lines. Alright, and that's the card for 10. I hope that gave you a good idea of something else you can do with all of your baker's twine, or maybe even just colored threads that you have around. And I will catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.